As a footballer, I've always kind of flown under the radar. What I hope is that my teammates appreciate the commitment.
Well, it's a nasty-looking clash of heads between Van der Donk and Becky Sauerbrunn.
When I collided with Van der Donk, I realized I was bleeding. Really, there was nothing that was going to keep me off that field and finishing out that game.
They've done it for a record 4th time. Champions of the world.
I think to be able to take those things that once were very difficult for me, to be able to turn those now into something that I can address and I can speak to people about it, I can kind of show my scars. I've always been annoyingly competitive, ever since a really young age, and it could be in anything. I think I was in high school when I first kind of realized soccer was starting to get serious. You were being evaluated, criticized a little bit more, and so I think that's when I first started doubting my ability and am I doing the right thing? Should I be here? I think that's when I started to kind of notice this elevated feeling of being uncomfortable in my own skin and feeling like I always had to kind of prove myself. The first time that I really just felt I just couldn't get out of this kind of low point. It was the first time I'd ever gotten cut from a team. My coach's criticism was that I wasn't fast enough to be a center back and that I didn't have a presence on the field. You know, being slow or slower, you're kind of like, okay, I can work on that, but I can only get so much faster. And then the presence, that was a hard one, to be told like you're kind of just there on the field, you're just kind of taking up space. So that was one that was hard to take. And so for me, it was just kind of, how can I make more of an impact in the game? Is it being more communicative? Do I need to play louder? And so I found kind of little elements of my game that I think people would notice and people appreciated on the field. But I didn't go so far that it wasn't me anymore. Like, I stayed true to myself.
They've reached the semi-finals in every single one of their previous Women's World Cups, winning it 3 times. Oh, it's a mistake. Spain have a chance here. Hermoso!
That Spain game, you haven't given a goal in the tournament yet, and then you're directly responsible for giving up the first goal against your team. For me, I needed to switch like kind of the mindset and be like, okay, I've put us in this a little bit of a hole. And so for me, I just need to know that I need to play simple and confidently and not, you know, commit another kind of large mistake. I want to be a player that actually gives us an advantage in this game. I don't want to be the reason why we struggle in any way.
It is a truly remarkable achievement.
Winning a World Cup, surprisingly, I think my biggest emotion is relief. Honestly, like, anything less than winning would have been a disappointment, and that's kind of a lofty expectation to kind of hold. I think to be able to take those things that once were very difficult for me and would actually affect the way that I played and how happy I was, to be able to turn those now into something that I can acknowledge and I can address and I can speak to people about it, I can kind of show my scars. Yeah, I think that gives me an unfair advantage, that I can take those things and make them into a positive that can still really keep me driving and motivated to keep getting better. The one piece of advice I would give to someone trying to just kind of make it, whatever their dream is to make mistakes. Train and strive for perfection, but be okay that you're never going to be perfect. You can be great, you can be average, but make those mistakes that you can actually push your limit and kind of find those areas that you can actually reach beyond what you thought was even possible. Ooh, dramatic. I mean, it's very innovative. You don't see this on any other footballer's shoe. I think Adidas has been really great in kind of pushing the line when it comes to innovative products. Any little bit that can kind of give you that edge, I'll take.